That was one of the most unfortunate things I've had to do in a franchise mode in a long time. The captain is gone. A channel legend in Nick Hague is off to Toronto. This is what happens when a team that should be capable of winning does not win. Bad things have to happen. The Columbus Blue Jackets are looking to trade the 10th overall pick. We are very much going to be in on trying to make a trade happen. They also have this Zuzan guy, 73 at 20. I'm intrigued by him. But that 10th overall pick, Spence and he or Stenberg, Kvasha, and a third. Let's work on that one manually. Let's work on that one manually for this 10th overall pick from Columbus. Because if I can add Kvasha, or not Kvasha, if I can add Zuzan to this deal, depending on how good he looks, I will. He does have decent skating, listed as a sniper, doesn't have an elite shot. I'm not interested. But I do want that 10th pick. Dude named Smiles on his way to Nashville. Good old Nash Vegas. Okay, so the 10th overall pick. I think we can move on from Papineau because he's just so far behind James and Koltsov, right? So if we can use someone like Papineau to get this deal done, we should. Do we have any other obvious shouts? I hate not seeing Nick Hague's name on this team. There was goalie who's only a 59 at 19 years old. This is what we build up that trade value for. If we can use these two to get this pick, we'll be in a good spot. Especially if we can fucking safety net this. So, oh, Niles' song was a banger. Still is. All right, what if we take out a fourth? So a first, a second, and 2/3 for goalie Papineau. And hopefully some scrub-a-dubs will push it over the line. I don't think Rice Miller will make it. Friggin was terrible. LeBlanc was terrible. Richard's terrible. Still not enough. Okay, really. If I take out... I should have taken out Friggin instead. What if I add a 4th-round pick from Utah? Guess we're actually... I misread that, I suppose. What if we take out a 3rd? What if we take out that? Just do the 1st and the 2nd. Okay, there we go. So done deal there. Had to get rid of George Papineau. But we do now have the 10th overall pick. And we know that there are some half-decent players available there. We're not going to end up with Moore. Harold Moore. He was a right-side shot anyway, defensive D, so I'm not too upset. Who can we get with this pick? It was Rafalski, a center, or the lefty Matthias Dahl. And based off of what we need, this defenseman makes a lot of sense. Rafalski does look to be the better player overall. But we need the Swede. So Matthias Dahl is the pick. 75 overall, medium top 4. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's at least good to get another left-handed shot into the system. Detroit's willing to trade the 14th pick, but there wasn't anybody I was overly interested in. Not really interested in anybody until we were further down. Although I guess we'll double check really quickly. DeNicola we don't know enough about. Same with Latendresse. 2 years out, 2 years out, 2 years. Do we have any 1 years or NHL ready? That's what we really want. First one's Ulf Erzberg, who we looked at before, who's projected around 35. Okay. So, really quickly, back to find a trade. Now that we know Nick Hague has to go, let's just double check if there's anybody else with value that is worth moving on from. York is terrible. Nobody wants him, though. Rice Miller, nobody wants those two combined, so we need more trade value than that. Right wing side, Laitikainen stays, Robichaud, so nobody there. Left wing side, Turcotte signing rights. I am not allowed to even trade his signing rights. I don't think Lyndon Lakovic is sticking around for too much longer, but he'll stay for the moment. I guess I do still need Turcotte to waive that clause, huh? Turcotte has no desire. So if Haig does terribly, do we send him to the Hague to be tried for his crimes? I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Referencing. And then for the centers, I don't know for sure what we're doing with Eyes Wozniak right now either. He was a disappointment in the playoffs. Diorio was a disappointment. Could argue now's the right time to trade Rogowski because he might not make it. Let me look at Rogowski here. 23 years old now, 81 overall. Great AHLer. Center right wing. He's gotten better at center. He's listed as a two-way, which is fair. There is a bit of an argument to keeping Brooks Rogowski. What would a trade for him fetch us? 32nd overall pick? 30th overall pick? Do we like Rogowski as a medium 9 more than drafting those guys that are projected for the early second? Stenberg, now 24 years old. As a playmaker, he's good. Am I going to want to build around playmakers is the question. Taves is going to make the roster this year. DeNicola goes to the Blue Jackets. So back over to centers here. So again, Taves is going to make the roster this season after 2 extra years in junior. So the ELC slide was perfect. He's listed as a power forward. He'd be a perfect two-way if we can get him to change. So he's definitely a part of the team. Wozniak, we've tried a couple of times to switch from power forward. He has developed big tipper. He'd be an unbelievable two-way if he's willing to switch. Trusting him as a goal scorer isn't exactly ideal, and contract-wise, it's a bit scary. I think we'll hold on to everybody for now from here. We won't make those big decisions yet. We can push downhill a little bit. So we do have the 22nd overall pick, but again, the next players I happen to be interested in, we're down around pick number 35. So we can definitely get some value with this pick. Emile Andre, no thank you. Combine these two. Fun fact, Keandre Miller is actually affordable now. After all this time, we bring back Keandre Miller. It could be done. 32, left-handed shot. No abilities. Listed as a 2. Do we trade these 2 picks to bring in Keandre Miller to replace Nick Hague? I'd already swapped the clocks. Yeah, I just looked at it. I'm like, what the fuck? So, fair enough. 29 team no trade list. He's willing to come here. I'm honored. Let's take a look here. Physical, blocks a shitload of shots. I mean, minus the abilities that Hague had, Miller's a really good fit. He's a really good fit, and we can take on that deal now. When we had to trade, or when we elected to trade him back to the Rangers, because we took him in the expansion draft, we got some extra picks out of that. I think that's worth it. I mean, there might be a couple of prospects out there that could be worth it a little bit more, but we will keep that in mind from the Rangers. Let's go take a look. Especially because we're on the clock, I can call that timeout. Are there any crazy players that are on the block that would be easy for us to acquire? Morrow is trash. And we are talking like medium elite caliber here. Otherwise, we're going for Miller. Jarvis's deal must be up. Yeah. McQuaid, who we traded to Chicago previously. There is this guy here, Inglis. He's not bad. Sizek as well. Right side defenseman, Gabriel Inglis. Dustin Sizek. Defenseman for Sizek, not a great skater. Those two would primarily have to work on their skating for a while, so not terrible. Again, we already looked at Zuzin. I wasn't too happy with what I saw there. Miller might be the guy. He really might be. It's kind of crazy. We end up circling back to Keandre Miller. 76 at 22, 66 at 18, Smith Pelly. Trenton Smith Pelly, terrible skater. No, thank you. Montreal with pre-stop. Dalton pre-stop. He's not bad. 78 at 21. Fresh onto his ELC. We'd have to get more back in terms of picks. He's not terrible. But you could argue getting our left defense issue solved is a little bit more ideal. Even if there's a chance that Miller starts to regress as soon as next year, but like keeping him or getting him keeps us in a very competitive spot. Bankin, but Dan's 26 years old. It's either that guy on Montreal or it's the Keandre Miller trade. Yeah, we're going for Miller. That is the move. We are absolutely going for Miller here. 22nd and 26th. We still have the 29th from the Leafs because of the previous trade with Haig. And then we'll use 22 and 26 to get Keandre Miller and 2/4 from the New York Rangers. That is not a bad bit of business for us at all. We'll see who the Rangers ended up taking. 26, they got a medium 6 defenseman. 22, they got a medium 9 forward. Fleeced. Absolutely fleeced. And honestly, we can trade this 29th pick as well because Erzberg is the next guy that I really want. I have to go to Trade Finder. Ooh, the Habs. Why not both? Why not both? Montreal. Pre-stop. Give you that 29th pick from Toronto. How would you be over the cap? It's a draft pick. The fuck is that? Okay. Do you have anybody on an expiring deal? There we go. Let me take on Owen Tippett's contract. Whatever. Whatever. Oh, do what I think the Bruins should do in real. I'd just blow the team up. All I would do is just blow the damn team up. Well, most of it. Let's see. So Barkowski can go. Rankin can go. Richard can go. All right. Let's see if we can add a little bit more to this. 79th from the Islanders. Big time deal for us there with Montreal. Very, very nice. Habs end up getting a medium 9 with it, so we'll sim to the next round. 34. Okay, so we do need to overextend a little bit to move up here. But the 55th pick, the 98th, how are we looking from there? And the 105th. There we go. All right, so with that 34th pick, we are looking at another Swede, Ulf Erzberg, a 6'4", 17-year-old center, who's apparently 1 year out. So Erzberg, medium 6, 74 overall, not bad. Not bad. Decent skater as well for someone his size, so very, very nice. The next player we wanted was McNaughton. Mark McNaughton, a left defenseman from the Wenatchee Wild. 37th overall, so obviously 35, 36, 37. We'll hope the Penguins don't screw us over here. But we'll make this deal with the Islanders using the 59th pick. The 88th from Seattle. There we go. Pittsburgh, don't screw me over here. There goes Shamnoff. It's not a disaster that we missed out on that guy. Well, fuck you, Pittsburgh. Fuck you. This game won't let me have anything. God damn it. And don't get me wrong. Holy, medium 6 is coming up. I'm not complaining that the AI is smart enough to take somebody good off the board instead of just guaranteed taking the next guy. Trust me, I'm not necessarily complaining. But it is a kick in the balls that just happened. All right, do we have anybody else that's 2 years out or less? Or is it all now just 3 years out? It's looking like 3 years out at best. Okay. So if that is the case, it's a hell of a lot of guaranteed medium top 6s coming up. N6 Shepard, Mironov, Carpenter. I mean, the thing is, they're not going to be the best players. So, I mean, we can still make this pick here, and that's fine. I presume that Kent Maurer is going to be okay as well. I could be wrong. We don't know as much about him. But nothing wrong with another left defenseman, or we take Marvin Carpenter with that Zetterberg comparison. Slight risk at lefty, or let's take the guarantee, I think, with Carpenter. I don't want to get left holding the bag. So, yeah, mid-60s for Carpenter. If Maurer ends up being good, that's not bad. 64 low elite. It's not as good as it used to be, but that's still pretty good. He's not a very good skater, though. Neither is Carpenter, for that matter. All right, we're definitely not trading up again, though. Do we have another medium 6 available? We do. Mironov, Ross, or Brophy was the last guy who might be 2 years out. Let's take Cameron Brophy, the big center out of Regina. 64 medium 6. Mironov was a 66, and then we have another second. And that will be Jackson Ross out of Switzerland, or we take the shot in the dark. Big time shot in the dark for Kip Friggin. Let's take the shot in the dark for Friggin scares the hell out of me. Let's take Jackson Ross here then. Yeah. So a lot of average players at that stage of the draft. We'll see if my laziness has cost me anybody. There was a goalie in Sievenin, but that's not a big deal. We're fine goalie-wise. Newmanen's not that great. Doesn't look like I missed out on anybody crazy by not, fully scouting out the upcoming board. Another medium elite goalie, but whatever. Another medium elite goalie. We wouldn't have been able to get all of them. Blake's okay as a grinder. Castles is okay. Wharton was good too. Yeah, low elite. 65, not bad. I mean, it's been a pretty good draft for us, all things considered. Let's see if we can find any other steals here. There's a medium starter goalie, Fise. So let's take a look. Goalie-wise, we have Felix Peterman, Damon Jenner, and Simon Fise. Not too worried about the fringe goalie and Lundgren. Yeah. Or Lindbergh. So Fise's 5 years out. Jenner's probably 5 years out. Peterman, yeah, I mean, all those goalies, you just hope for the value. Defensively, it's just shot in the dark. That's it. There is a medium 4 in Gene Jonas. But for the most part, a lot of shot in the dark players there. I don't like these low 4s. I really don't. I mean, if we end up with a low 4, cool, but I'm not taking a guaranteed low 4. Right wing side, a low elite perhaps, Bennett Coronado. A couple of guys who might be a medium 6. Left wing side, couple of shots in the dark. And centers, Bigris, Rose, not a ton going on. So projected around this time, Raphael Waugh out of Cape Breton, 4 years out at 18. Lincoln Frank, potentially 2 years out. Fise, Nick Jeffrey, 3 years out. Well, let's hope that Lincoln Frank from the Ottawa 67s is good. He is, a low 462. It could be worse, but it's not amazing. Fise was a 48 overall. Jesus Christ. And Frank was the best player that we were considering there. Aside from him is Nick Jeffrey. Come on down, Mr. Jeffrey. Portland Winterhawks, another low 4. Could be better, could be worse. I don't think we're going to get many steals here, from the looks of it. Serge Phaneuf, 3 years out as a low 6. We might as well just take him. Yeah, 63. He'll probably, push for a bottom 6 role in the future, at best. Let's see, another Ukrainian, Vladimir Svitov, but he's 20. So we're going to rule him out. So if it's not him, it is Ali Shugihara, 6'6", 235. All right, Sugar, get in here. Medium 4 enforcer. That's what I like to see. Imagine this guy and Karmanov on the same defensive pairing. They are going to terrorize the AHL for years to come. I'm here for it. Accidentally hit New Jersey there. All right. I mean, honestly, it's been a pretty good draft for us in terms of like stocking up the cupboards. Miski looks terrible, but maybe worth a shot. What else do we have? Then there's Jack Vandeveld. 19 years old, 4 years out. And if it's not him, it's Gene Jonas, who is solely to be taken for the value. When's our next pick after this? 125. Okay. We will go for the trade value picks here. We will go for Gene Jonas. Yeah, 50 overall. Absolutely terrible. And then we will go for the goalie with that guaranteed potential. Let's go for the German Felix Biedermann. 48 overall, but a medium elite. And we might even get the other guy that I skipped. Yeah, Vandeveld's still there. Jack, come on down. Low 9. Okay, well, it's a good thing that I skipped you then. Jesus. Terrible. The Lost Jones, brother, right? How's Karmanov doing in the AHL? Fighting around the world. That's how he's doing. Low elite, 54 overall, defenseman Petrolainen. What else do we have here? A lot of Finns. A lot of Finns. And Mauricio Lucic. Timothy Moroz. Who else do we have? We actually got a lot of people. Come on down, big time, Timmy Jim. Medium bottom 6 power forward. Not ideal. Round number 6. Anybody here? Panay. Anybody aside from you? It looks like just a bunch of 2 out of 4. Oh, there is this guy here. Bennett Corrado. Otherwise, yeah, it is just a bunch of 2 out of 4 low elites. We'll go for Rodney Panay, another left defenseman. Low 7th. He will not be the Nick Hague replacement, or now the Keandre Miller replacement. We'll take Marcus Nylander. Ooh, no, we won't. He's an overager. Nope. Shout out to Jay Pogge, by the way. Damon Jenner in goal. Why not? Medium elite Damon Jenner. That'll be good trade value, at least. And then the 7th round. We've done an all USA, Finland, or Canada team. Yes, all 3 of them. All 3 of them. We've done a Finland-only challenge twice. We did an all-USA challenge back in the day. Shout out to those that remember Rock, Flag, and Eagle. And Team Canada, we specifically did maritime-based QMJHL teams. Let's go for Bennett Corrado here before it's too late. Low elite, 51 overall. Okay. And then pick 224. Who's left? I think Vancouver before me just got somebody decent. 18, 20 years old. We'll get Ernest Barker out of there. 19, we'll get Reisner out of there. Get the overagers out. Hamalainen or Dustin Begorus. We'll go for Begorus. You also tried WHL US only teams. That's true as well. That is true. I Forgot about that one. Yeah, the Brothers Bengoa. That was the Seattle Sea Cattle run. Good times. Good times. Good times. All right, that gets us through the draft. Honestly, really stellar draft for us. Not upset at all. This is going to be upsetting, though. We can afford the qualifying offer of Ivankovic, which is good. So if he does not get an offer and eventually accepts the qualifying offer, we're good. However, long term, the window's gone. We're never going to be able to sign him full time. He is just not willing to play ball at this point. It's just not going to happen. We need a Channel Hall of Fame. Imagine a Channel Hall of Fame. Imagine. Yeah, Jack's going to go. Aiden Hill. Good servant, buddy, but you're out. Talon Boyko, you're huge, but you're gone. Rhodes does play in junior. We'll double-check some of these guys in a bit. Defensively, Henriks, you just never really developed. Has 99 endurance, but 80 speed. Just not good enough, Tanner. We'll see you later. We're not going to worry about Matthias Dahl, at least not yet. Valin's not bad. I mean, medium 6, 20 years old. That's not bad. We'll sign Marco Valin. Do we have anybody else? York, low elite, 64, 21. We'll cut him. And we'll double check back through this shortly. Right wing side. We know Grachev is going to go. Again, good playmaker, cannot skate worth a damn. You'll have a great time playing elsewhere, buddy. See you later. Nobody to worry about. Left wing side. A lot of good times, Alex. A lot of good times, but you're gone. We can't afford you. Alex Turcotte, yet another domino to fall of a tremendous core we put together. But a core that couldn't get it done. We're going to let go of Owen Tippett, who was a draft trade tack on. And Etu Lostarinen, whatever you prefer, is also gone. And then at center, Eyes Wozniak will get the qualifying offer. Right now, he is looking for more money than we can afford, which is annoying. Technically, it looks like we could get him potentially on a 4-year deal. It might actually take a 3. We do modified no trade. 3-year deal, max money I can hand out, half the league. If he accepts this, I'll take it, but again, no guarantees he doesn't get traded. So we'll see what happens, because he's not going to fetch us enough on an offer sheet. Teifel looks great. Michael Teifel, 33rd overall, a couple years ago. Definitely signing him to his rookie contract. Nick Bjugstad can go. And from there, there's not much going on. Again, we'll double check if certain players, if we want to sign them for the preseason. It just kind of depends on what type of training we end up doing. So we'll see what happens here. Eyes Wozniak is back. So the big man has stayed. The big question now is what happens in goal. And what happens with our coaching staff. And scouting, because we did lose a scout. All right. So the coaching staff. Cheval Dave, we know, will not be the head coach next year. We got 3 A+. I would like to try to bring in all 3 of them. 2 out of 3 would be perfect, because then I wouldn't have to fire anybody. You got Hayden Stahl as a veteran-focused coach, which... double check the average age of the team, but some of those guys are getting there. So Hayden Stahl looking okay. Campbell, we also had before. Give old Gordy plenty of money. There you go, Gordy. Okay. And then scouts, just whoever the hell has a good grade. Paisley Brain. What a great name. Rowan Weiss. Laurent Vanier. Yarrow Glass. There we go. So free agency. Are we going to be able to make any plays for anybody here? Suppose that's the big question. RFAs include Ivankovic, of course. Defensively, Lynn, Stenlund, and Bourne, and Amico. The latter two, not going to get much better. Stenlund's interesting at 23, so is Lynn, but the compensation they're asking for is crazy. Yeah, Stenlund's not even that good of a skater. Ryan Lynn is a good skater, but we don't have room on the right-hand side. So, not worth it for us. Right winger Bieksa, not very good. Left wing Potter. Is that is Colin Potter. Wow, he didn't really develop in Seattle. And then center is Tisha Ginla, who hasn't really developed at all. Maybe we try to save Tisha Ginla a little bit, huh? And then what about Nobert? Mateo Nobert. What do we got for you? Great skater, another younger playmaker. What is the most that we can offer those guys without having to give up any compensation or at best a second and a third round pick? Let's see what we got here. Let's see. So a third rounder is up to 2.775. And a second is up to 5.50. I mean, a second and a third for those two to get them into the mix doesn't guarantee they are able to come here or that they even do well. But you never know. So, no bear. Would have 2 years left as an RFA. 7-year deal would be interesting. 2.775. Offer him the no movement, which is a little bit scary. But 6 years, 2.775. I mean, typically not the good idea to hand out that clause. 4-year deal would be perfect. Willing to give up a third round pick for him. And then Tisha Ginla is again up to $5.5 million for a second round pick. So we can try to salvage his career a little bit. Potentially get him on a 5-year deal. So let's see what happens with those two. And then UFA-wise, top goalie out there. Oh, baby. Man, this is a big year for goalies. Tulipov, Kosa, Demko, Hrabel. Demko's 36. The other guys are certainly younger. How's Michael Hrabel done? He's been mostly a backup in Detroit. He is fucking huge, though. Casa has abilities. Do I trust Sebastian Casa to be on point? He's been Detroit's starter and very inconsistent, but Detroit also hasn't been a playoff team. And then there's Ivan Tulipov, who is more of a Yusei Saros. Was a starter in Nashville, didn't do so well, and then was a backup in Chicago. All three of these goalies look risky as shit. Especially given Hrabel's the only guy I could possibly afford. Shits and giggles. Interest level isn't particularly high. He wants the guarantee of being a starting goalie. With the goalies we have in the system, I don't think we need him. I think I'd rather trust who we have. There is one medium starter goalie in Peters who's not that bad. Everybody else kind of sucks. But again, we already have some good goalie prospect. Clint Peters. Those attributes are pretty bad. Got a good glove. That's about it. We might go for him. Defensively, our top four is set. Yeah, like Philip Hronek, Jersey, Dumbass, Scott Morrow. Was Peters ours? There you go. Well, if he wasn't good enough for someone else, why would he be good enough for us? Again, none of those defensive prospects are worth it. Forward prospects, 20-year-old low elite enforcer. But yeah, not much going on prospect-wise. Aside from this guy here, Lincoln Clutterbuck, who, didn't the Blue Jackets try to trade me this guy? He sucks. Like, he sucks. He is not good at anything. I've been very nice to the AI, though. I want him. We'll see if he accepts it. He might not. Okay. And then obviously top players available. Turcotte, Richevsky, Alex Tuck as a veteran. But we got to see if those RFA deals go through. So we don't have too much to worry about there. It's just what is going to happen with our multi-time Vezina winning goaltender. If he gets an offer sheet, he's gone. If not, and he accepts the qualifying offer, we get him for one more year, and then he probably goes anyway, because we won't be able to afford him. We did bring in Hayden Stahl. That's good. And then we got all the scouts responding. Lincoln Clutterbuck signed. No buyout. We don't know yet. TJ Ginla said no. Okay. I tried to save your career, buddy, but you go right ahead and flounder away on Seattle. Some Montreal match for Nobert as well. At least we hope that guy get paid. Okay. Well, then there's only one question left to answer. There's only one question left. Let's send him to the 29th. That'll still leave us time to do our off-season training. Does Ivankovic get offer sheeted? We're a month in. Jack, no one's going to pay you the money I'm going to pay you. It's clear. Nobody is going to pay you the money that I am willing to pay you. You will be a legend in this town. Nobody else wants to pay you that amount of money. There is one team that will. His asking price for the year is pretty low. This might be our chance. It might be. Dude, Koltsov is ready to go, though. He's like, fuck Jack Ivankovic. This is my team now. He still wants $14 million for an 8-year deal. Fucking disaster. 6% of the cap. No movement. I can get him for a 1-year deal, but that's it. That's all we can do is get him for a 1-year deal, and then he's a free agent again. He's going to be back for one more year. But long term, it just does not look like we're going to be able to keep him. I mean, maybe if we enter negotiations. Let's try one more in-depth negotiation here. New topic. 8 years, buddy. Okay. We'll probably end up being able to keep him for 1 year. And it probably is the last hurrah. 6%. Presumably, he's going to accept it. That does mean now's the time I got to go through all the off-season training, but we'll see what happens. Well, I'll tell you, Chad, I was going to end stream here shortly, but this kind of forces my hand a little bit. You remember how at the start, when we made this team, and chat's like, LOL, make the tax rates as high as possible for the extra challenge. And it's kind of felt like it hasn't affected us too much so far. Well, those fargan chickens have come home to roost. I hope we're still able to end up signing Ivankovic. We'll see. But, yeah. That's not great. That is not great at all. What's he looking to sign for money-wise? What's he looking for now? Which is crazy, because he was looking for 5'9", and I offered him much more than that, and he still said no. Like, the man's insane. Like, he is just ready to leave. Getting boned by taxes. One-year deal, Jack. Jack's got a gambling addiction. Oh, and Daisy. Tremendous.